week you've scored more points progressively every week. So what's been the biggest difference in your mind as far as the offense?
Practice. And, early on, that we have to deal with, I don't know if you guys have to deal with that much in Dodge City, but here in Topeka we have, like, the hockey team, and there's field time. We've had, little gyms. Practicing in a gym is not great. It's not great at all. And practicing, there's no chance for us to practice outside, being that the weather was so bad with the snow and stuff. So I think lately you're starting to see the results of we're starting to get the results of the offense clicking because we are in the arena and able to practice. Timing with the quarterback and situations like that, and then the players just knowing where they're going to be out on the field and stuff like that. I mean, that's the biggest part. I think our practice are getting better. Teams and receivers and quarterbacks are starting to get on the same page, and we're all new. I mean, there is nobody from last year. There's probably a couple players from last year to this year, but I mean, the offense is totally different to them. I'm asking more out of them, and the guys are picking it up.
Interesting note, I talked to the owner earlier this week, Tim, and one of the things he said, he's been tempted a couple of times to bring Carlos Kelly out of retirement again. He goes, I've been tempted to do it. In practice, you'll see Kelly tossing the ball downfield. He can still do it at 39 years old. He's a high school coach here in Topeka. That hasn't happened. He has another Carlos at quarterback, but the point is, when you can't practice during the week and you're fighting for arena time, the end result is 0-5.
Well, and the practice, practice makes perfect. I don't think that's true, but practice makes you better. There's no doubt about it. I mean, Allen Iverson may not like practice, but I can tell you what, it does make teams better because they get to work with communication. That's why when you see, it's not just the practice time for some of these teams, but it's the time after practice that they spend together. That's what makes the difference between a winning and a losing team.
Take a break. When we come back, we'll meet the offense and defensive starters both ways. That's coming up next on your Countdown to Kickoff on Z98. we're back at the Kansas Expo Center alongside Ross Miller, Tim Bower.
I knew you were going to do it once.
I figured I was. That was it the last time. Alongside Tim Bower and Mike Philosoph, our countdown to kickoff. Let's go ahead and meet tonight's offense and defensive starters first. Dodge City's starting offense.
Joshua Floyd, quarterback, Shawan University.
Dominique Carson, running back, Ross State University.
Brandon Vincent, wide receiver, Illinois State, Chicago Bear.
Maurice Young, receiver, Tennessee State. Kendrick Eames, Millbrook High School, wide receiver.
Tyler White, left guard, Newberry, South Carolina.
Kyle McManus, center, Concordia St. Paul.
Anthony Jackson, Arkansas State University.
All right, there's the offensive starters. Let's meet Todd Middleton starting defense.
Mike Grace, defensive end, Washington State University.
Jamar Sear, nose tackle, Highland Community College.
Jared Bilbray, Northern Arizona University, defensive end.
Walner Nutt Leandre, linebacker from the University of Arkansas Razorbacks.
Cashman Thomas, defensive back, West Texas A&M University.
Dejan Love, hybrid corner, Upper Iowa University.
Mark Sterling, free safety, CSU Pueblo.
Paul Robinson, cornerback, Pittsburgh State University.
There's your offense and defensive starters for tonight. We'll meet the Kansas Coyotes here in just a second. The captains at midfield, Michael Grace, Josh Floyd, shaking hands with the opposing side. As Dodge City coming in at 4-3, Kansas at 0-5. Let's listen in. So Dodge City wins the opening toss. They elect to receive. The opening coin toss tonight is brought to you by Western State Bank of Dodge City. As we meet the Kansas Coyotes, and for Dodge City, getting the football first. That's what Sean Ponder likes to do. He's an offensive guy, so of course they don't want to waste any time, and they want to take the football first. Kansas offensively, on the offensive line at right guard, Kenny Ellison, a 6'1", 290-pounder from Langston University. Tony Baca, 6'3", 205-pound, played his collegiate football at Fort Scott Community College. Cameron Neal, the left guard, 6'2", 295-pounder from Emporia State. We should also mention the tie there that Sean Ponder is the former quarterback at Emporia State. Starting wide receivers, Chris Davis with a cup of coffee with the Jets and Tennessee Titans. 6', 195-pounder from Wake Forest. Wayne Shepard, 6'3", 200-pounder from Fort Hays State. And then Elijah James, the other receiver, 10 catches, 125 yards, 6', 215 pounds from Fort Hays State. Rustin Phillips, the former Dodge City Law, is the starting tailback, 6'3", 245-pounder from Idaho State. And Carlos Cavanaugh, who's 1-25 in his career in indoor football as a starting quarterback, is the starting signal caller. Defensively for Kansas, on the line, Ben Peaster, Jason Jones, and Furu Ambam, who played for Ryan Rhodes at Hutch. Cato Miller, the starting linebacker. Jeremy Weston, William Griffin, the defensive backs. Nate Bruno and Gerald Marshall are the strong safety and free safety, respectively. Dominique Carson will stand back. Alex Fambro is not here, by the way. He had a tryout with the Cleveland Gladiators. They have a new kicker in, but Derek Dorkler will kick things off here as we get things started from the Expo Center. We are underway. Kansas looking for their first one of the year. It bounces to one of the up men, and that is Jared Bilbray at the 19-yard line, lowers the shoulder, and he takes Antonio Clay right into the wall at midfield, and a 6-yard return, and that's where Dodge City will start first and 10.
And Bilbray used to hitting people, not getting hit himself, but did a nice job in the return, gets it out to midfield. Very comfortable position for Coach Ponder's offense.
The scouting report, Tim, is definitely out on Dominique Carson. And it's first and 10 Law, right at midfield on the near hash, moving from right to left in their road uniforms. The yellow and silver tops, the silver pants with Dodge City in yellow going down the side of each pant. And the gray, dark gray helmets as Ings and Benson go wide right. Young to the near side left. Carson to the left of Floyd in the shotgun. Facing a three-man front. Takes the shotgun snap. Here comes the blitz. Well protected. Steps up. Locks one down the middle. Wide open Young, and it's incomplete. Pass was low. Floyd went down.
And the back official actually acted as a defender right there. Shielded the receiver from the ball, Young. Otherwise, that might have been a touchdown because Floyd had to worry about throwing it over the official.
Josh Floyd's pass a little bit underthrown, but as you mentioned, there was an extra defensive back for Kansas back there in the official. Vincent wide right. Maurice Young to the near side left. Kendrick Ings on a slot right. Floyd out of the gun on 2nd and 10 from midfield. Takes a chest-high shotgun snap, a delay. Handoff Carson running off right guard. And he scoots into plus territory down to the 22. Van Peester, who played collegiately Missouri Western, grabs him around the waist and drops him after about a 2.5-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Carson's going to get more of a workload now, the release of D.D. Holyfield. It's going to allow him to showcase his talents a little bit more, but it's also going to mean he has to pick up a few more carries per game.
Kendrick Ings, as Holyfield was released earlier this week, will see some carries as well. 3rd and 8, Dodge at the plus 23. 3 receivers, 2 left, 1 right. They pick up the blitz, throws it right, and it's caught by Young at the 17 and immediately wrapped up on the far side of the field. Tackle is made by Jeff Coulter from Northwest Missouri State. They'll mark him at the 16-yard line, gain of 7, and it's 4th and a yard.
A complete timing pattern right there, but good job on their defense for the Coyotes, keeping the offensive player right in front of the first down marker. That means they have to try to make the 4th and short.
Dodge City 4 of 14 on 4th down this year. 4th and a yard at the Coyote 16 on the far hash. 2 receivers left. Floyd takes a chest-high shotgun snap. Handoff Carson running left, has the first down, bouncing back to the right. Then he dives inside the 10. His knee is down. And he's upended by Coulter again. Back-to-back tackles at the 9-yard line. It's a gain of 7 and move the chains.
That was sheer will right there by the offensive line, and a great job off that left end. You know, you really know you have a good running team when the other team expects run and can still convert a 4th and short.
For Dodge City, their 5th 4th down conversion of the year. Carson is averaging 4 yards a tote. The product from Sul Ross State, who in one game scored 8 touchdowns in a college football game. 2 receivers go right on 1st and goal at the 9. Floyd is under center, deep in a one-back set. Is Dominique Carson bobbling the snap, option read, and nowhere to go. Van Peester read it perfectly, got 8 from a bobbled snap, and Floyd is dropped back at the 12, a loss of 3.
And Peester's done a nice job on this team defensively as well. He's also forced a couple of fumbles this year. Great job by Floyd. Just take the sack, lose just a couple yards, get yourself up for 2nd down.
Van Peester, who grew up in St. Joe's, that's of course where the Kansas City Chiefs hold their spring training camp, and huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. You mentioned the 2 fumbles, he's forced a couple, 19 tackles, 4.5 for loss. 2nd and goal, Dodge at the Kansas 12. 3 receivers right. Floyd takes a chest-high shotgun snap. Under pressure and sacked. Peester at the 21-yard line, coming off the edge, and there was no chance. It's a loss of 9.
Well, the offensive line having a difficulty right now picking up on Peester, and that is a guy they have to identify, making sure that he doesn't rush around the end to get to the quarterback. I mean, we have a good quarterback here in Floyd, but he has to have the ability to get some time.
Dodge City on the year, Tim, is now allowed 19 sacks, one of the higher totals in the league. It's 3rd and goal, the Kansas 21, opening possession, 10:38 to go, no score. So 3rd and goal. They've lost 13 yards on 2 plays. And now Sean Ponder's going to have to burn the timeout. And he's got to be very frustrated with the way things have started here in the opening quarter. 10:30 to play. Frame number 1. No score on Z98. Inauspicious might not be the word to describe it, but with 10:30 to play in a scoreless first Dodge on their opening possession, they had 1st and goal at the 9. It's now 3rd and goal from the Kansas 22.
There's some holes in this defense for Kansas. They allow 59 points per game. A lot of that was inflated early on in the year because of all the points that they gave up early on. But you know, I think they've definitely improved, and the offensive line's got to be able to match this intensity from the defense.